Okay, we were just talking in the previous video about all the things that have happened to Americans, the science experiments, unwitting science experiments, to those who have dictated that they are gods compared to the general population, and how the only thing that works to cure them of their rage issues now is medical marijuana, and how the government doesn't want to let people have that. It's like there's a witch hunt against us for, using medical marijuana. Okay? I'll give you a case in point. A pillhead who does Oxycontins 5 times a day, all fucked up on opiates, can have a driver's license. No questions asked. They got a prescription for it. I can have a medical marijuana card, not have any marijuana, drop a clean urine for marijuana, after not having a driver's license for 32 years over alcohol-related offenses that happened when I was a teenager. No drugs involved, mind you. Did everything they required me to do 22 years ago, and they still didn't give it back to me. It's like, and they'll still dictate that I can't have a driver's license just because I have that medical marijuana card, and I have the religious belief that I have the right to use that marijuana if I need it for health reasons, even though I don't use it, on a regular basis or anything. I'm not one of those people who gets high, that uses it for that. Because then I'd be no better than the people who get Oxycontins and they use them to get high, you see, or Vicodins. So it's like, do you see how this witch hunt is going? All right, it's like recently, one of the most awesome, best mothers, one of the a good mother, Amy Cunningham, she's being witch hunted in Mesick, Michigan, for giving her kid, who, this is a cursed time to have kids. They're for real. Your kids are science experiments. It's been this way for at least 20 years. I'm a science experiment. I was injected with chicken pox, and now I could end up with, what is that shit called? Shingles? It's like, I was a science experiment. Who knows what else they did, I could be one of them people, they put a camera in my eye and shit, and listening devices in my head. I mean, I do have the little scar, the unexplained scar that so many of us supposedly have, touching on conspiracy theories here from the 60s. I was born in that era, and I was a kid from that era, a poor kid that they don't, they didn't regard, had any rights, and, their parents are stupid ghetto people, so they'll never know the difference. Their kid came in here for this, but send them out of here with stitches on their eye, they won't even notice, It's like, your kid fell down off the bed in here, some dumb shit, I don't know. Yeah, but it's like, okay, so now your kid is 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, starting to act out, having rage issues, because the food that they've been experimenting on, on them with, and the vaccines, and the water, and the air, they've been spraying the air, that's all affecting them. And then when you put that in conjunction with what they've been feeding into their minds with the media, and then they have the weapons grade frequencies that all of our laptops and iPads and cell phones use to communicate, those are going through those kids' heads, and who knows what they're putting on those frequencies, that they have to be weapons grade, that they can't just be normal domestic grade frequencies that can still carry those signals just fine. They want to be able to manipulate the signals. Okay, so your kid starts acting out, much like, your cat starts freaking out when they start tweaking them signals, and your cat doesn't know what the fuck's happening. They just know something's happening in their head, right? It's like, that's why it's not safe really to own wild animals around this technology anymore, because a chimpanzee that's friendly as fuck may just trip out one day and rip your face off. Okay, because of the frequencies. You got a Wi-Fi, signal. You got a phone signal. Well, then you have the frequencies there. Okay, so yeah, it's like your kid's starting to act freaky. That that the pills don't work. All they do is like numb them, and make them fucked up. You know, where they are like crazy zombies. Where yeah, you could picture them doing an Adam Lanza and tripping out and killing you and a bunch of other people. You know, so it's like yeah, you want your kid to have some clarity. Well, God gave us herbs. You know, He gave us marijuana. He specifically described it in the Bible. Even with the loose translation of King James Version, you know what the fuck He's talking about. And He talked about the era when that would be illegal, what He gave, but the sorceries of man, which translates as pharmaceuticals, will be legal and will be pushed upon even children. Okay? Yeah. And it's for real. That's what they're doing. They want to dope up your kids so that they have a zombie squad. You know, that they'll do what they want them to do when they want them to do it. So then when they want to perform a psyops and have a bunch of people protest over some dumb shit to distract from some shit they should be protesting over, then they can have them do that. You see, they can have crowds of people obey their orders, man, for real. This was, you know, like the recent psyops, that was a test. You know, yeah, the zombies are responding, you know, accordingly. You know, it's like, yeah, there you go. So it's like this Amy Cunningham, she realizes that the pills are not helping her kids, so she wants to try medical marijuana. Medical marijuana is working for her kid. She makes the mistake, you know, her or her husband or somebody makes the mistake, or maybe somebody reported her, of telling a DHS person, well, you know, now you found out, Amy, that you know, integrity with these shitworm monsters, these Heil Hitler motherfuckers, it's like, it works against you. Truth does not set you free with these motherfuckers. This is where, you know, we were given this example with Abraham and Sarah. Okay, Abraham and Sarah traveled through what was gangland territory back then. But back then, people had like morals and standards that they abided by. So even gangsters would not kill a brother and sister traveling around. They would kill a man and take his wife, though, as a sex slave. And Abraham and Sarah knew this. Sarah did not know that she would be blessed with a barren womb during these years. And this is why she was blessed with a barren womb. While they were traveling through these dangerous territories, Abraham and Sarah pretended like they were brother and sister. So then the worst that would happen is she would get snatched up and get gang fucked by the gang, and then get returned back to him, sometimes with a blessing in exchange for the use of his sister, and sent on down the road. She never got pregnant because she had a barren womb. It was supposedly a curse, but it was actually a blessing. Back then, people lived to be a lot older than they do now, you know? So they thought when they got old that, oh, wow, you know, they were running short on years. Okay? But here's the interesting thing about this is that we were taught about bubble stories, protective bubble stories by Abraham, the leader of, you know, the top first chosen person of God. He was Abram, and he was renamed Abraham. Okay? It's like, and he, you know, he opened the door for the inception of Christ via his intent to sacrifice his son. And that's all God needed was the intent. He didn't actually need him to sacrifice his son to incept Christ into this dimension as a sacrifice. You see, he just needed a man who would be willing to do it. That's why he didn't actually have to kill his son. Okay, they could continue on in the ritual of sacrificing lambs until Christ was the sacrifice. Because then they would have transferred the sacrifice over to a mere man, which was Isaac, you see. And that wasn't his calling. It was the Son of God's calling. So this is where intent comes in. We learn about intent. Okay, and we also learn about the protection of, you know, protective deception. That sometimes you can't use integrity with some people. Okay, and it's like, it's ironic that we get fully exposed to this whole story when Abraham and Sarah go to this kingdom, and Abraham judges it to be just as evil as every place else they've been. You know, they're in the mode of, hey, we're brother and sister, so they don't change their story. Well, the king looks upon Sarah, desires her, and decides he wants to marry her, right? You know, so it's like, well, they're brother and sister, so he snatches her up. He's having her prepared to be his wife. And then it comes out, you know, that, hey, wow, these two are pretending to be brother and sister. They're really married. They've been having to survive on the road, you know. So it's like the king comes and sends Abraham and Sarah out of the kingdom, banishes them from the kingdom, as liars and deceivers, and dregs the society. You see, this is the top chosen man of God, who had to use deception to stay alive because he had a beautiful wife. You see, and sometimes your wife don't have to be beautiful. It could just be the mentality of the people that are around, or even she has a spirit of molestation on her. Or just bad circumstances. There's shitworms controlling a lot of entities on this planet now. My wife has almost been gang raped, by white devils with me in the car. It's like she was smart enough to jump behind the wheel and try and run them over. It's like, yeah, so it's like you learn about these, that with the government especially now, that if you try to be honest with them, they will take your honesty and twist it. Okay, and with marijuana, we're being witch hunted, and it's been distracted from, we're crying about motherfuckers killing thugs in the street, and I'm not saying Eric Gardner was a thug, so if anybody who throws him on that, you threw him on that, okay, because that chokehold case, they showed a picture over and over and over again to a bunch of people that were too stupid to watch the video and see that when Garner died, he wasn't in the chokehold for at least 30 seconds before he died. And he was actually being held in a protective pattern to keep him from hurting his head, bouncing it on the concrete. All right? And they didn't know any better. The other cops, the two big bully cops, jumping on top of him, that they was killing him. Okay, but the one cop that got it thrown in as a scapegoat, the white devil with the tattoos, and he killed this guy, he had the chokehold. That chokehold did not kill that man. All right, and it's medical science that can prove that a chokehold did not kill him. But we'll be distracted from that, from the real things with that. The real things we should be worried about, like what they're going to do the 24th with the UN. Yeah, to all of us. Or hey, how about this marijuana thing? Just not to get off course here. That the witch hunt of the marijuana thing. If somebody decides they want to witch hunt somebody who does medical marijuana, who has kids, they can have them killed, for real. In Crawford County, in my wife's town in Grayling, the cops, trigger happy, gun happy cops, went up into this guy's house to take away his kid. For DHS, social services, whatever they call themselves now. They have to keep changing their name. They're so evil. So every generation has got a new name, new acronym. But it's like they go in here to take this guy's kids away because he uses medical marijuana, right? That's what they use as a basis. They're going to take his kid away. They're going to take his kid away to give the kid to dope fiends and drunks. If that ain't about a bitch. So, they're going to take the kid out of a situation where it's not being harmed, or it's being protected and provided for, and put it in a situation where it's a worse situation for the kid. But they don't care about this. All they care about is that, hey, we got this guy who does medical marijuana, and he's got custody of his kid. And somebody decided that he shouldn't have custody of his kid. So what do? They're judge, jury, and executioner up in this motherfucker, man. They go into dude's house. They threaten to take his kid. He jumps up, acts like he's going to grab a knife or some shit. That's what they say anyway. But they got all trigger happy and shot dude. It's like, you don't got a taser? You too poor to afford a taser? Oh, the first thing you reach for in a domestic situation with an unarmed citizen is your weapon with bullets in it, right? That's the first thing you reach for? Gung-ho rookie cop? Yeah, you see, you got that out there. And we want to be distracted from that element that will come in your house and kill you over medical marijuana. Let's be distracted from that element with these motherfuckers, and when they encounter people on the street, that they have to have a negative interaction with them. And they don't have to. You don't have to resist arrest. You don't have to resist an order when a motherfucker's pointing a gun at you. Or when you're outnumbered, you're outnumbered, and they got billy clubs and handcuffs and walkie-talkies, more motherfuckers on call, fucking, and guns. It's like, they're wearing riot gear. I'm sure the best thing to do is what they want you to do. I mean, a retard understands that. I'm a retard, and I understand that, right? You submit to that level of authority, yo, even if you're in the wrong, or even if you're in the right, until later on you can live to prove that they were wrong. You see, if you can't live to prove that they were wrong, then you may not prove that they were wrong, and then nobody will know that they're wrong. You see? Right. Now, I've been witch hunted. Amy Cunningham's being witch hunted. There's a witch hunt out on us medical marijuana users. Amy Cunningham needs some support. I know I ain't going to see no support except for from a certain demographic, but that's okay. But, you know, at least look out for her.